Somebody asked me today about, I thought the Mind Your Own Business program was going to take us A to Z through developing our business. And it is. These few sessions are sort of the down and dirty of what you need to know to just get going right now. Because I know, and I think I told you guys this before, I didn't want you to be stalled while I spend time advertising it. So those of you who signed on during the challenge that are the VIPs get a little bit of extra attention. So we'll spend some time tonight I'm going to go through review sort of what we did last week very quickly. And then I'm going to present step number 2 of the down and dirty, get going, get the money coming, right? That's what you guys want, the money coming in a fun way and not a beat yourself to death way. So glad to be with everyone tonight. Pam is not with us, but Peter, you may be happy she made the slides, so they're very much more attractive. So yeah, last week we didn't have slides. She wasn't feeling well. So I'm going to go ahead and get going here and just welcome everybody. All right, see how much prettier they are? Yeah. All right, so get this out of the way. I just got offline doing, but by the way, just a few things. You guys have probably said, thanks, Kim. Hi. Hi to you. And thanks for liking my hair. Today, all day, Peter brings up the hair thing. He indulges me, but all day I've been kind of struggling with, oh no, I don't like it. Oh no. So it's nice that Kim says she likes my hair. Thank you. All right. So I just got off my show, and those of you who have not seen it, or heard about it, you should have, is I have this mission for this year, and that is to help at least 100 people get their businesses to 100K or more this year. And so this Mind Your Own Business program is part of that, all right? It's part of my mission for the year. And there is a free way that you can be involved in my mission. And you guys, of course, get everything that's for free. Anybody that's part of this and you should have received a welcome email. If you haven't, you will already. Everyone who's part of this 100 people, and you guys are part of the 100, and it's almost at 100 already, guys, you get everything that, as part of this program that I'm putting out there for free. Okay. So just a few things to tell you about that is on Tuesdays at 5:30, I will be live. Most everything will happen. All of the lives and that kind of thing will happen for the 100 on my feed, which is Paula B Coaching, my coaching feed. All right. I will, so the 5:30 show on Tuesdays, we will be doing case studies and, people talking about their business and talking about, what changes are being made, talking about what's happening. And there's kind of there's twofold purpose to those programs. One is to let everybody get connected to each other and learn about what each other are doing so they can support each other. And also for you to highlight and just sort of, put it out there, what is happening for you in your life and your business, right? What you're trying and what that's happening. So that's every Tuesday at 5:30. So I just got off of there. It's right before this show. It's right before this coaching. Then also on Thursdays, you all will have your own thing on Tuesdays at 6:00 as part of this program. But on Thursdays, also at 6:00, there's going to be group coaching for everyone who wants to attend it in the 100 program. All right. So that'll be a large group of people. you know, people probably start, this is the way these kind of things go, is, you know, people start out and they're really on fire and they're blah, 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 and they come, and then, you know, a few weeks in, it'll be the ones that are really serious that are left, right? So it'll start out really big and then it'll get a little bit smaller. And what I need you to do is I will coach during that time, but there's not going to be time for me to, you know, coach individually. We'll leave that for when we're together. But I'll answer your questions. So if you will email them to me, and you should have received the welcome email, you can send me your questions and I'll coach to those questions, or you can just type them in while we're going. All right. And that'll be on Thursdays also at 6 o'clock if you want to be part of it. It is not mandatory, but anything you can do, I think, to sort of get to know people and grow is going to be helpful, right? I also am creating and will be continuing to create several YouTube videos that just kind of, you know, help with, you know, certain points about what you need to know for your business, growing your business, all that kind of stuff. And I'll be putting those out to everybody, and you can also find them on my YouTube channel. So I need you to go ahead, if you have not already, subscribe to my YouTube channel so you get notices when those come out. And that my YouTube channel is Paula B Coaching. Simple, right? Same as you also need to go like and follow and turn on to receive notifications for the Paula B Coaching feed. All right. In the welcome email, it shows you what to do to turn those notifications on and to follow me, so that you get something that comes to you in your Facebook when I go live or I'm putting something out. All right. You will receive notifications. It says it shows you where to push. There's arrows. Okay. So in the welcome email, you guys will have that. One more piece of disclosure is my company is growing bananas right now. Thank you all very much for everything you tell everybody that's signed in, everybody that participates. Thank you. And during the last, like right before the last challenge, this is insider information, we just got too big for our other platform and it couldn't handle what we were doing. And so we switched over to ClickFunnels, which, by the way, ClickFunnels is amazing. Beautiful templates. If anybody wants that, I will give you a link to go sign up, all that kind of stuff. But we switched over to ClickFunnels. And so when you switch platforms, there's bugs, right? Not everything transfers and all of that stuff. And so Pam, God bless her, has been, you know, we just put up, Peter let us know about one thing that happened. Thank you, Peter. And we fixed that. And then we put out the welcome emails to all of these people who piled in and signed up. And I happened to look at something that was going on, and I saw that it said this many emails went out where the list said there were more. And so we had to go back and figure out why not all of them went out. So if you have not received your welcome email yet, you will. And I thank you for your patience, but as this company grows, we're transitioning into out of the bugs, let's hope, into something that's very useful. And as you grow, you will experience this too. So, all right. And I can give you like the information about how to fit this together in an affordable way, like when you're in like beginning and then midstream and then on up. So, all right. So here we are tonight, mind your own business. And you guys know this is about, and this is the fast track. This is the down and dirty. And last week, you know, we kind of started out and I kind of gave you we're going fast through this. On these Tuesday nights. And so we just want to kind of put the information out and not have tons and tons of discussion. I hate it, but we're not going to have time to do that. But next week, I was just going to do this 2 weeks, but I'll give you one more week and we're going to do all coaching next week. Okay. So we can, you know, I'll try to leave some time tonight too, so you can ask your questions, but I really don't want to get into like long, you know, arguing is probably a heavy word, but long discussions about, you know, why it won't work or, you know, what isn't working or anything like that. I want you to really remember that you are learning something and that you've got to practice, you've got to try stuff. And this is one thing, like if you saw my video that I made today on my own personal feed and the Paula B coaching feed, one of the things that I think is a huge staller of people in business, particular people that are newer in business, is they get into visioning, and they're really good at visioning, really good at dreaming about what they want. In fact, you've been taught, by some of the big guys to go do these vision boards, and isn't that exciting? And that can get you into someday mode, right? That it's so exciting that I'm going to have this someday, that I'm going to do this someday, that I'm going to have $10,000 coming in someday. And what that means guys know that I'm into, the universe and universal energy and managing that, and I'm really good at it. And if you'll listen to me, I'll teach you how to use it to your best authority. What that says when you put that out there is, says one, to your brain, we don't have to do anything about it now, and don't, nothing, no energy goes into this. And then the other thing is, it goes out into the universe as a message of not right now as well. So what I want you to do is practice the language of today and live as much as you can in now. All of our lives are created right now, right? So I don't want you to like beat yourself up. Go do this. You have to do this. That is not what I'm saying. But it is using the language of today. I am prosperous. I am enjoying my journey. I am on my way to $1 million. I am receiving today I'm taking actions that bring me along in the energy of creating, all of the today and not the someday. Okay. So yeah, Becky says I'm speaking to her right now. I don't know if I'm speaking to her about someday or using the language of using the law of attraction, but we want to get out of the someday. And I've realized, when I realized I was doing that with money, and I really started talking to myself about, because I actually had a vision board, and it said $200,000 in the bank at all times, right? And I started thinking, oh, won't that be good when? Won't that be good when? And so I realized that when was when. Nobody knows when. And so what I needed to do, and what I changed, is having the conversation with, I'm having a great time seeing where this journey goes. I'm having a great time. I'm knowing that I'm creating $200,000. I'm having, $200,000. I am super wealthy in the money in the bank, and not getting into that. Well, it's logic. You don't have it right now, but it's the language of wealth. It's the language of prosperity. It's the language of receiving that we want to change to, and not get into the someday, because that creates a gap, right? A gap in between where we are and where we are now, where we want to be. And what happens when there's a gap for most of us as human beings? We focus on the gap, and then we get broken, right? So I want you to take some practice, and I want you to use the new muscles, the building muscles of flowing toward what you want. And you're not going to be perfect. Nobody wants perfect. I don't want to be around people who are perfect. People that pretend they're perfect, even if they pretend they're perfect, they annoy me. I used to have this sister-in-law, and she's not anymore because now I'm divorced, but I used to call her practically perfect Millie. I mean, she always walked around like always telling everybody how great it all was for her and how great everything was. And she just didn't feel like a real person. You couldn't really connect with her that well. So we want you to not be perfect. Your journey is not perfect. You chose to come on this earth in this space and time for the reason of learning along your journey, because you're learning and you're able to, as you expand, you're going to be there for other people who need to expand the way you have. This is probably why you want to serve the people you want to serve, right? So you have to be learning. You have to fall down, because you wouldn't expand if you didn't. So, you're not going to be perfect, but we still do live in this 3D world as much as some of us, are in the 5D world or the 8D world. Sometimes we still do live here. And so we do have to take inspired action. I'm not talking, shaming yourself, but when you'll feel it, you'll feel like, let me try that. Oh, let me go do that. Oh, this is scary, but I'm going to do it anyway. You'll feel that pull, right? So I want you to do that. I want you to be a team player, support each other, talk to each other. And like I said, try new things and new ideas. And most of all, have fun. Have fun. Once I once I learned, and I don't know if any of you saw the email that I sent out this week about my bag of quarters. You might have seen my post about it as well. But, I thought everybody else had the answers, and I just wasn't getting it right because I didn't learn enough or I didn't do it their way enough. And I kept trying to emulate everybody else and do it their way. And it just made me feel worse, and I was broken and more broke too. Just kept getting like nothing worked, right? And then one day, and this was recently, I just decided, really, F it. I'm just going to be me and I'm going to see what happens. And I'm going to do it totally the way that it feels right to me. I mean, I'm going to learn new things and I'm going to listen. And when somebody brings up like a good idea and I think it's a good idea, I'm going to try it out. So you guys see me trying stuff out. And I'm going to make this I'm going to make this into a big experiment. It's an experiment, and I have a lot more fun coming from the experimental realm than I'm doing it wrong. And, that person's better than me. And look at how many Instagram subscribers they have, and look at how many views their TikTok got, whatever it is. By the way, I put out my first TikTok this week as pushed by my coach. So I have actually 4 out now. Once I did it, I broke that barrier. But so have fun, and check in every day, making an intention. I'm going to talk today about intentionality, and it could be an intention to have fun. So the first point I made last week was that the very first thing that's going to make you successful, and I want you to hear me very clearly on this, is you being you doing it. Yeah, you are on TikTok. I see you all the time. Katya. You've got a lot out there. So I want you to be you. Do it your way. Think about like your lifestyle that you want to live, plan your lifestyle first, your family, your fun, and don't let that be overtaken. And you doing it your own way will create your personal brand. Remember last week we talked a lot about personal brand, right? So your own way will create your personal brand. So we talked about this last week, but like my personal brand is, today I had lunch with, some of us know Lenora. I had lunch with Lenora, and she said to me, I'm always so inspired by you because it's just so evident that you'll have an idea and you try it. You have an idea and you'll try it. You'll go do it. And I said, yeah, but sometimes it's messy. Sometimes I figure out that isn't the idea to do. And she was like, yeah, but you're out there and we see you out there and we see you everywhere. So that's kind of my personal brand, right? I take, an idea. So you are your brand. It's not your business. It's you. If you're going to do it your way, it's not your business name, although your business name will be associated with you, but you are your brand. And your brand, when you make you your brand, it's going to go with you no matter what you're doing for money. It's actually going to bring you more money. I just got asked the other day to be an affiliate for about 4 other people, and then to be an affiliate for somewhere else. It's because of what I'm doing, not because of Paula B Coaching. There's a million, coaches out there, but because of me. All right. So your brand goes with you no matter what you're doing for money. And that's what you want to be thinking about with these pages that I asked you to create last week. Your page, not your business page. It can highlight your business. If you guys go to the Paula L. Boland page, you see that a lot of what I put on that page is what's in my business, because my business is part of my life, right? But there's also other stuff. There's also some stuff that I find it to be very freeing, because my business, I want to focus on, I want to focus on how you build your business. I want to focus on strategy. I want to focus on, what I want to teach about that, what's in my brain about business. But on my personal page, I have freedom to talk about, a lot more law of attraction stuff and a lot more, stuff in different language than maybe I would use. So your brand goes with you no matter what you're doing for money. And this is the other freedom piece, is that your brand can make money from you just being you. You don't have to follow, and you can still, follow the funnel mechanism and look at all the ways that your funnel's producing and all the, all those numbers that, you don't have to, you can just be you. I mean, I don't think that, I'm trying to think of like a performer that's out there or somebody like Kim Kardashian. I don't know. She might follow like numbers now, but Kim Kardashian is a brand because she's just being her, right? Now, how she looks is part of it. That's part of who she presents. What she's doing is all part of it. But she is, a while ago rolled out her own credit card, and she blew down the sign up process, people trying to get it. So by just being you, all of a sudden, you're going to have this freedom to make money. And so we talked about, what do you do for content? Do y'all remember this? What do you do when you're getting on and you're either writing things, if you like to write, or you're, sending emails, or you're making videos? You guys clearly know that I would rather speak in public than, write an email or whatever. You give pieces of your knowledge. So a little bit, right? A little bit of info, right? And then you want to do this regularly. So you're giving little bits so people get, have you ever driven? Well, I know you have. We just got done with the election, and you drive down the road and you see the yard sign with that name, like, whatever the name is, Joe Rudolph or whatever. And you see Joe Rudolph, you see Joe Rudolph, you see Joe Rudolph, you see Joe Rudolph, you see those signs, right? And you go to vote and you don't even know like what Joe Rudolph is about or whatever. There's a lot of people that'll vote for Joe Rudolph because that's the name they saw the most, right? So there's something in the psychological network of people that, repetition and seeing somebody or reading something by somebody's name sticks with them, right? Just in that fact. So doing it regularly and giving pieces of value. And remember, I said, and I'm looking at some of those of you who have invited me to your page. I am looking at your page, and it would be nice if you'd invite me to your page if you've already put it together. And I'm glad, even like maybe in a coaching session, maybe next week, to look at the pages together if you want to. But some of you are not following this put 9 posts out before you make an offer idea. Some of you are really wanting people to sign up with you and really wanting people to, whatever. And what the process is, remember this. Does anybody remember the process? Know, like, trust, buy. Know, like, trust, buy. And I can see it very actively. I have the 100-100, right? The 100-100 program, right? 100 peeps for 100K. And my marketing group went ahead and it was performing very, very well. Like I put it out there and you guys were signing up. We had like 50 people signed up. And so I put it out, my marketing group I said to them, this post is doing really well. And you can go ahead and, if you want to put it out there, put it on places that know me, and they just put it out everywhere. They did an ad. You know how many clicks that ad's gotten? 0. Alternatively, I'm on a group. It's about like law of attraction, abundance. It's an abundance group, and Tatiana's on there. And I've been, I like the group, and I want to, I see that all they talk about is money's coming your way. And I want to kind of put my stuff out there and just give a little piece of hope or information that may help a little bit. And so I've been doing that. And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and put this 100 thing out there on this site. I got 30 people, were interested, right? Signed up, right? So the difference is they knew me. And it wasn't, they knew me. I wasn't going live. I was just kind of like interacting with posts for a while and people, and I wasn't doing it on purpose. I was just giving information out and participating. And they, immediately people signed on. So you want to be careful about that, and not every third one, not every other one, but literally you can go in your feed and say, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, I gave an email 7, 8, and before you make any kind of offer. You want people to be engaged with you. If you go to another group that isn't your page, do the same thing. And I'm going to tell you, this is a big reason. This last one, 9 out of 10 posts with 1 out of the 10 being the offer. Give your pieces of information, your crumbs or whatever you want to call it, those 9 pieces first. The number one reason why you're not getting people signing up for your webinars and all of that, and it took me a while to figure it out, is because people don't know, like, and trust you. You're just going out there blindly and putting out an ad. And a lot of ad agencies say, well, if you have it written well enough, if you have the pain points defined enough, if you, and you can spend thousands of dollars trying to figure that out, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and do that. But why not have already your audience that you are connected with? That reacts to you right away. Is Ron on here? I don't know if Ron's on. Yeah, Ron's on. So one of the things that and Ron, I'm calling you on the spot if you don't mind, but one of the things I love about Ron is he'll publicly say, well, Paula said, this and this and this about Bitcoin. And so I was like, well, I'm going to check into it since Paula said it. Well, that tells me that, Ron knows, likes, and trusts me, right? And that's a place of great honor for me. And so when you start hearing that from other people that are, following you or engaging with you, you know that you're being yourself, you're giving the right stuff, not necessarily the right stuff, but you're giving what they need, right? All right. So here's our fast track point. Wait a minute. Let me just open this up for just a second because I'm kind of 30 minutes in. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll just do this. So this is so important that I want to kind of open this up. If anybody has a question or a comment or a thought about this, we can always go into the other, a little bit deeper next week too. So thoughts, concepts, what have you encountered this week about this? Or what's confusing you? Becky looks very deep in thought.
I'm not confused, Paula. I'm just processing. Okay. I'm really processing right now, just trying to wrap my brain around 4 different things right now. I'm trying to figure out and figuring out the best way to start doing. Okay, I will tell you what I'm thinking about. Get that. It's 9 pieces of information before you give an offer. And well enough, I'm in the process of trying to define exactly what it is I'm going to be offering, to what market and in what different ways.
Here's what I would do if I were you right now. I would just focus on being me, personal brand, talking about what's important to you. Right. I wouldn't worry about, what am I going to do? Get your brand, get people knowing you, get them to know that you know tons about, weight loss, that and don't necessarily put what you're saying out there about a product, put it out there about what you know, right? Okay. Like, what's a sticking point for losing weight, or what's a mental game about, losing weight, or, what's one little tip? And you know what, if you guys can try to keep these cheap, try to keep these quick, like a minute or less, which is quite
Okay.
a challenge. Minute
Yeah,
and
for
a half.
me.
It's a terrible challenge for me. I filmed one TikTok 6 times today because I couldn't get it to be a minute.
Okay.
Um, anyway, you want to say it quick because people's attention span, but get your point across, just down and dirty, right? Even
Uh-huh.
in the words you use. And it doesn't matter if you're only talking about weight loss. You can be a full person and talk about weight loss. You can talk about, multi-level marketing. You can talk about, you know what I mean? Like, and you can be like Ron also, I think he's on here still. He didn't run away. Ron, is into right now 2 different things. And he's really, I'm sorry, Ron, I'm just speaking for you, but I know he's into coaching and organizational coaching, organizational mindset, all that kind of stuff. And then also a product, an MLM product, right?
Mhm.
So, and the reason he's into it is because it's like, really what he's about is, cleaning with clean products that aren't, chemicals and all that stuff. He can be both of those in his personal brand. And he can talk about both of those. He can talk about why that's important. He can talk about, and people will start to go, oh yeah, this is the guy that's in the organization, but he also uses those clean products. I wonder if he'd use that in the org. You know what I mean? Like they're getting to know him. And so if I were you right now, well, instead of driving yourself nuts, because the more you invest in this, the more energy and transformation you put in, I'm going to talk about this in a minute. The more you put into this, the clearer it will become to you. It will be clear what you're passionate about. It'll be clear like what you really love talking about, what you want to go on today about, what you want to write that email about if you're writing the email. It'll become clear. It has become very clear for me what I want to talk about. I mean, so
Mhm.
I want to talk about personal branding, and I want to talk about you doing it your way, which is kind of the same thing, but I want you to build your business your way. That is so clear to me. I'll talk business strategy and how do you build it and all that stuff, and I will talk about that, but it has to be about you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's kind of a reversal for me of being that person that it's like there were always so many things and people would coach and say, you've got to keep the main thing, the main thing. And before you can do that, you've got to figure out what the main thing is. And I get what you're saying. That kind of gives me a little bit of a,
Go be free. Yeah. And you
yeah.
don't want to like every day go off in a whole, find out what just floats your boat to talk about. And I
Mhm,
bet you it's
mhm.
weight loss. And Peter, are you sending energy or are you raising your hand? I never know if you're clearing.
Raising my hand.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
That makes sense, Paula. That
Okay.
makes sense. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'll mute.
Okay. Peter.
So my question is, how often is too often versus not often enough?
Great question.
And then related to that, how far out are you planning like these topics so that you sort of have an idea instead of just kind of randomly talking and maybe being all over the place because you're not used to doing this kind of thing?
Yeah. So good, excellent questions. And again, you got to do it your way, right? So you cannot do this too much. Only 17% at best of all of your followers are listening to you at any time. You probably could run the same email over and over and over again, and there would be people that were surprised that they just saw it. It's just not that everybody's looking at what you're doing. I hate it, but they're not, And so, I've heard a rule of thumb is 3 times a day. And for me, I know, right? For me, that's too much. For me, I don't want to do that 3 times a day. One, because I'm trying to plan into the topics. It's like I don't know, and sometimes I stumble. It's like I got nothing else to talk about, and then it'll come, right? If I relax into it, it comes. So I have heard 3 times a day, but you make it yours. And some people do 3 times a week, and just make it yours. Make it what you feel is good about, but you cannot do this too much. You can't, because only a few people are listening. And they'll, one thing you say will attend to one person, And then the next thing you say in the next one will attend to a different person, right? And it's so amazing to me. Like, there are some universal topics that I talk about. Like, if I ever talk about procrastination and how to overcome that, it blows up, right? People want to talk about that. But other than that, and you're going to get, every time you do it, you're going to get feedback, right? It's all feedback. It's all an experiment. It's like, who's responding to this? What are they interested in? How can I give them a little bit more about that if they responded to it? If nobody responds to it, then there's a little bit of feedback too. It's like, okay, I don't talk about that anymore. So that helps you plan your topics, right? And so you've got to plan your topics the way that works for you. The way that I do it is I choose a theme on Sunday, like a week theme. And I do it actually in meditation and asking, the universe and feeling like an impulse about it. But again, you can't make a mistake. And there's oftentimes midweek that I come, that theme changes a little bit because of what's happening. Or, like when you start coaching, it's kind of funny. The universe kind of presents you themes because 3 people that week will ask you the same thing. And you'll be like, oh, okay, I got to talk about this, right? So you just do it the way that it works for you in terms of how do you plan it out. I do it week by week. I have another friend that does it month by month. My little brain doesn't work that far in advance. So, I have too small of a brain. Actually, I am like idea chick, and there's way too many ideas in my brain to go a month out. I mean, I would be like exploding. So I do it a week at a time. And then usually about midweek, there's enough feedback that I go in a different direction if I feel I need to. Does that make sense? Is that helpful? All right, there's a Manleen joining us. All right. Anybody else? One more question, and then I'm going to zip on to the point number 2.
I have a comment if I can make it.
Sure, go ahead.
I was just gonna.
Grab Tatiana. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
No,
didn't
go
mean to
ahead.
jump in. I was just gonna say that 2 things have really resonated with me. One, when you're talking about doing it your way, because like trusting yourself and really kind of you know yourself and what you're trying to do best. The other thing, and I'm trying to trust myself more and more. The other thing is when you talked about people doing the same email twice, because I am so detailed, which is often a curse, but in this scenario, in the past month, I've actually been watching different people's campaigns,
Right.
and on multiples, they are literally using the same email. Sometimes like in the morning, they'll use it. And so it's like they're trying to catch the morning crowd.
Yep.
Then they will, and I've actually taken them and printed them out and compared them to see that they are identical in the evening. But what is also interesting is that even as detailed as I am, I will read it in the morning and there will be things that I missed that I catch when I read it in the evening.
Isn't that interesting? And they know that. And so you'll often see me do a video and then I write an email about the topic and, I'll catch it in different ways. And so, you'll often see me do that. But I know that people respond in different ways and people learn in different ways. And I'll repeat topics too, because especially if they're coming up over and over and over again, I know that, that's kind of in the general consciousness that people are thinking about it. So you don't need to worry about repeating things. People will see when they can, and they'll learn it in a different way, just like you, the same one in 2 days, and it's the same thing, and you learn something different. That's very fascinating. Great experiment. I love that experiment. All right. Tatiana, what were you going to say?
Hi, everybody. Well, my question, I guess, is so I have 2 Instagram accounts, and I'm debating is which one to make. I could rename one of them, which one is to keep the way it is, and which one is to turn into my name, or just keep them as is. Because one account is for coaching, for business coaching when I started it, and another one is for artists and a healer. And I connected Artist and Healer account to a house club, and I start getting people from there following me on Instagram. And now I'm thinking, okay, which account should I, because which account should I name? Because one is a TW Coaching and one is Tatiana Healing Arts. And maybe I shouldn't do anything with them, you know, but
There needs to be something that you're working from that has Tatiana Walker. So just, you could have Tatiana, TW, you know, is not going to be that memorable. So you're going to have to work harder to get it out there and get the name and get it recognized that it's you, right? So you're going to have to spend more money, more time. If you have Tatiana Walker Healing Arts, and that's it's fun for you, and that's where you like, you know, spending, you even do it in Clubhouse and people are following you more and more, then you could definitely, you know, keep that one as Tatiana Walker. But I would tell you, and you do it your way, but there needs to be something that has your name, full name, or whatever you want to go by, right? And so and if that's the bigger account, the Healing Arts one, you could go with that one, and then be you. I mean, and I think probably you are more you there than a business coach model. So
well, yeah, I don't even feel like I want to do much under the business coaching, because I feel like I'm getting drawn to speaking about more like spiritual art, mindset, which all falls into healing.
I
art
would tell you, go ahead and
you know,
change the name of that one and go play on it for a while and just have an experiment and see how it feels. You don't, you know, you don't have to do anything with the other.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, because
You're welcome.
I just needed that clarification.
Yeah, just go ahead and
Yeah.
put one in your name and
Thank
have
you.
fun. You're welcome. All right. Okay, Moonleen, you just came on, and I'm going to have you really briefly just introduce yourself, 2 sentences of what you do for a living and your name, and then we're going to move on to the second section.
Okay. Hi. I am a classical Chinese medicine doctor. I went from Western medical school to classical Chinese medicine, and I plan to specialize in men's mental health, specifically anxiety. There, you got it.
Okay. And Moonleen, you said, is it better to use your first name only? That's your choice, but I would encourage you to use your name, especially like it's memorable, because again, back to personal branding, your personal brand is you. And so you want people to be able to remember you, right? But if Moonleen is what you want to go with because you feel like your last name, you know, is hard to pronounce or whatever, then you could certainly do that. All right.
So Paula, I have a couple questions about personal branding. So first of all, I really truly resonate and I really do understand the significance, and I agree. I am having a hard time. I don't know if it's a confidence issue or what, but I'm having a really hard time with, I guess, getting comfortable with my own self.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, so that does make sense. And we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that, like in the actual program. But
Okay.
what I would say is the more that you're being fully yourself and just checking in, am I being fully myself? Then that becomes a little bit easier, you know, saying what you feel is what you've got on your mind to say, doing it in your way. The more that you do that, the easier it's going to be. You're not performing for someone else, or you're not, you know, trying to please someone else. So that's why we want you to be you and authentically you in your own brand. But and you do it in the way that, you know, maybe if you're uncomfortable on camera initially, you do emails. I don't know. But, you know, and you don't have to do it every day all the time. Do it in like somebody else said, you know, once a day is too much for me. It could be 3 times a week, right? It could be whatever.
Right.
Just do it in your way, and that becomes easier.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And I don't mean to give like, just like, that answer and that'll fix everything, but it's certainly that there's some healing that can happen there too. And so, you gotta, but the way that you walk through that kind of thing is walking through that kind of thing.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
I mean, if you sit back until you heal from it and you never step into the river, you're not going to use your swimming skills. Right.
Right. Yeah, no, it's very true.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paula.
Yeah. And sometimes you're going to make mistakes and sometimes it's going to go wrong. And, that's all part of it too.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right. All right. Peter, did you raise your hand again or were you? Okay. You're just saying you. Okay. All right. I'm going to move on to part 2. And so what I want to talk about tonight is, and those of you who do not know what you're going to do yet and are sitting with what you're going to do, please don't get freaked out. Just work on your brand, on focusing on your brand, because the more that you work on your personal brand, the clearer it's going to become to you where you want to play. Okay. So don't get freaked out by this, but I wanted to give these are like, I get asked over and over and over again when I'm talking to people or groups or whatever about what are the top, if I wanted to start something today and go make money, if I needed money today, what would be your, pieces of advice to go get money? And this is the most scalable model, the model to use to just go get. And so you can do this, you can start this tonight. All right. So, I said, let's be honest, we want money flowing now. And so I want you to remember this. Attention energizes, intention transforms. Attention energizes, intention transforms. I remember this every single day of my life, and I tell myself that. So what does that mean? Well, basically, what you pay attention to, the energy is going to go into it. It's going to build and give you energy back, right? So what you need to become aware of what you're paying attention to. And then intention is sort of like, it's better than a goal. Intention brings you what you want, essentially, brings it together, makes it happen. All right. So that is a key phrase to remember. So I already talked about this, and attention and intention. I want you to get out of we already talked about this when we started, the someday mentality. I have an issue with vision boards because of this. Vision boards are beautiful. They're fun. It's great, but they collect someday intentions. And what we want to do is have intentions that are daily. I don't know if you listened to the thing tonight with Suzanne Rose. If you did not, go back and listen to it. She talked at length about how they have learned in their business to set daily intentions. And this is setting things up from where you stand and saying actively what you want to happen. So one of my intentions is I intend to have 5 new clients by the end of this month. All right. And then my attention to that is going to bring energy to me, and it's going to energize the whole situation, right? So I intend to have 5 clients, and I'm going to pay attention to 5 clients, to finding 5 clients, thinking about those 5 clients, thinking about the type of clients, thinking about how fun it'll be, think about how I'm going to feel as each client comes on, thinking about how fun it's going to be as I, help them through the process and I help inspire them and all of that stuff. I'm going to pay attention, because you hear that energy that's coming to me as I pay attention to it in real time. Not when I have 5 clients, I'm going to do this. I'm thinking about 5 clients in front of me. So I want you to get out of the someday mentality, and I want you to actively set intentions. Of course, backing up, this is your business. If you decide not to do this, I'm telling you what can really work and what can really bring you flow. Lots of information. But it'd be really great if you decide to play with this and play with setting what your intentions are for your month. I intend to get clear on what I want to do this month. Then you can also say at the beginning of the week, I do this usually on Sundays, my intentions for the week are. And I always include fun. Those of us who run businesses, we get out of the fun phase and then it's not good. We're not in good energy. It's not right. We get so serious. People don't want to be around us. We're not putting out good juju. So set your intentions for the week. And my week usually involves fun and profits, inspiring, being inspired, be inspired, you know, and then I'll have intention to do like a video every day. I have an intention to do a video every day. I have an intention to teach, you know, this class. I have an intention to come up with an idea for a webinar, which is one of my intentions. I have no idea what the webinar is going to be, but I have an intention that I'm going to come up with that idea, that I'll receive the idea. And then at the beginning of the day, you can set intentions too. Today, I intend to have fun. Today, I intend to not be so concerned about money. And actually, let's talk about what you want more than what you don't want. So I intend to, you know, if you can't think about money without getting upset, leave it alone. Don't think about it. I intend to enjoy myself. I intend to feel good all day long. I intend to find activities that are fun. I intend to make videos and have fun making videos. I've found that the TikTok videos are really fun for me. All right. I gotta let Tatiana know what happened to Tatiana, how she got out, but she's coming back. Okay. And so I'm going to talk to you about, you can even take these intentions and do them throughout your day. And that is called segment intending. And I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. But I want you to pay attention. Pay attention to your results. Your attention energizes. All right. The intentions are the, you know, what you are saying, I intend to have happen. I am expecting to have happen, but pay attention to it too. So I intend to have fun. Let's put some attention on having fun. I intend to get clarity about what I want to be doing to make, you know, millions of dollars. I'm going to put some attention on it. I'm going to meditate about it. I'm going to write in my journal about it. And then when you start paying attention, most human beings, we have this ability to create whatever life we want. We have the ability to direct our thoughts. You guys heard all this in the challenge. We have the ability to have and do anything, but we don't pay attention. Our focus is like a fly on poop. We don't hold a thought long enough to even create most things. And if you ever like just watch yourself or listen to your thoughts at night, I mean, especially like if I wake up during the middle of the night, I'm like a squirrel on Adderall. And it's like, I'm not paying attention to anything. What am I creating right now? But a mess. So the more that you can slow down and focus on that intention, the more clarity you're going to have, the more inspiration you're going to receive, the more ideas about it to try, the more fun you're going to have with it. You're going to be inspired instead of whipping yourself into doing it. And you can even have an intention to be inspired. But the more you do that, what you attend to energizes, expands. Attention expands. And intention transforms. So I'm going to talk just for a minute about segment intending. And segment intending is a great process. It's a process that you can use all day long. And it breaks down your intentions and what? Focus throughout the day of what you want to create. And you do it, this is great because so much of what we do as human beings in the way that we work and the way that we learn is reactive instead of proactive. And if you are segment intending, you're doing this before the event happens. So you are setting up what you want to happen. You're setting up in your mental state what you expect to happen, what you want to happen, the outcome you want, and you're excited about it. And it makes it so much more likely that you're going to receive it because you're going to, if you look at it in terms of the law of attraction, that means you're putting out the energy and you're attracting what you want. You've opened the valve to receive. If you look at it in terms of human behavior, if you're, putting out what you want to receive and thinking about it before it happens, you're going to behave in a way that directs you that way. All right. So think about the stories you've heard about Olympic athletes and how they use their mind to imagine themselves running the track perfectly and imagine themselves pole vaulting and going higher and all of that. And that they've gone through these tests, and the ones that imagine themselves doing it actually performed 80% better than the ones who did not. So that thinking into it before it happens of what you want to do, the mental rehearsal, it has even a physiological and a brain component to it. All right. So throughout the day, before an event occurs, you can set your intention and you can get out of reaction to life. All right. So you can use this as often as you like, but it's really easy to do like when you're transitioning into activity. All right. So say you're like, this happens to me. I get up in the morning and I do my meditation and all of that stuff. And it's time for me to transition to get ready for the day, right? So I'll stop myself and I'll set an intention, a segment. During this segment of getting ready for the day, I am going to enjoy myself. I'm going to have fun and sing. I'm going to be free of trying to solve all the problems, and I'm going to be in the moment, right? And then I go about getting ready for the day. I take my shower and then I'm very centered. I enjoy it. I have fun. I smell the lotion and enjoy my lotion and all that. Then I get done, right? And so then now I'm going to another segment, and say I'm driving to Salisbury. And I'm like, all right, before I take off in the car, this is a new segment. I'm segment driving, right? In this segment, Paula's driving, right? It's almost like I'm creating a movie, right? So I'll say during this segment, I want to be safe. I want to be efficient. I want to have fun and notice good things along the way. And then if my son's with me, I think, take it a little deeper. I want to enjoy our time together. I want to, all of that stuff. So I intend into before it occurs. All right. And what that does is it takes me out of reacting and puts me into creating. Right. So you can use this, your attention energizes, intention transforms all day long. And you will, as you get better at this, as you flex your muscle, you will see how good you can get at creating anything you want. It's amazing. And now I'm going to get even more down and dirty. And do not freak out if you don't have your business or know what you want. But here is what I tell everyone who asks me what to do if I want money right now. Okay. I tell you to set your intentions. I tell you to expect it. I tell you all of that stuff. And then now I want you to also look at what is it that you need to run your business now. Not every single aspect, but really I need to have posts done. I need to have videos done. I need to get clients. What is it? What are the things that you have to get your business running right now? This will set up a scalable model for you as well. And then set a budget. A 2-month budget of what you're going to invest in your business for 2 months. $500, $3, whatever it is, the amount that you can invest in your business for 2 months. So, and I would tell you, as much as you can stretch yourself, do that and trust yourself. And then you go sell. You sell, sell, sell. Sell who you are, sell what you're doing, sell, find clients, and sell. That's your primary function for the next month to 6 months. If you want to get money right now and grow your business right now, this is what I tell you to do. And then what you do with that budget that you set is you hire a team, because you want to be focused, your intention and attention on selling. So use that budget to hire a team. So if you need somebody to be doing operations, do your posts for you, those kind of things, get somebody else to do that. And you can do this stuff now for pennies on the dollar. You go to Fiverr.com, Guru.com. I have a marketing person that works with me that I pay for a substantial amount of work, less than $200 a month. And I'm glad to share any of those resources. So if you follow this model and you're absolutely like, you need money and you want to grow this, in 2 months' time, if you follow this model, if you focus on selling and finding clients or whatever you're going to sell, whatever it is, you will have $10,000. There's no doubt in my mind. And so if you could do this for 2 months, and then at the end of the first month, you're going to go ahead and, have more money, right? So you can put more money into this, and but if you focus, you probably should be the one who focuses on sales. If you have the product, if you have the business idea, if you have whatever, you should be the one who probably could sell it the best. I'm trying to look at some of these things. Yes, you can have these slides. Yes, 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 you can have these slides. Janine. Peter, I can't get your message to come up, so sorry about that. Okay, anyway, all right. So what time is it now? We got a little bit of time. This is all I got. These are the slides. I'll send them to you. Let's talk for just a minute. How do you sell? All right. So how do you sell? The way that I would tell you to sell is do it your way. And do it your way from the perspective of really talking about what it is that you are offering the person that will help them. All right. So, this is old stuff. This is old story stuff that a lot of us have heard, but if you could literally take out a pen and a paper and write 20 things that you provide, that, outcomes that the person would get, the men that are in anxiety mode that come to you, what would they get out of it? And then another 20 things are their pain points for why they would even be looking for it to begin with. All right. So just off the top of our heads, everybody kind of help Munleen. If you think about in just general anxiety, what are some outcomes you would want to be receiving for the issue of anxiety? If somebody said, hey, I'm going to help you overcome anxiety, what are some things you'd want to overcome? Probably panic attacks, feeling more calm, being able to think better, coming out of brain fog, Type them in the chat as you think about it. Yeah, Peter says more relaxed, more energy, come on, guys. So she, positive attitude. Here you go. Here's your copy, girl. Performing better at work. I told you we're team players. You'll be happier, better relationships, staying in the flow instead of blocking it. You're going to, attract more, if you're a young person, you may get more pretty girls. I don't know. You're going to do better at work. Okay. So all of this is, you're going to perform better sexually too, if you get rid of your anxiety. I mean, let's just be real, guys. People are interested in that. Depends on how old they are, right? So, all of that. So, and somebody said that, I think, sex drive, right? Peter said the sex drive will go up. You're going to be more attractive. You're going to be more fun to be with, right? Dang, don't I want all that? I got to go see Moon. I want to be more attractive. I want to be more fun to be with. I want to have a better sex drive. I want to have better relationships. I want to get a raise at work. I want to, stay in the flow. I want to be happier. I want to be more calm. I want to have, okay, damn. All right. So that's how you sell. You tell people what outcome they could have. And usually you start, because in general, who said you're not a guy? Oh, see ya, Becky. Hey, you're signing off. Okay, see you, Tatiana. Sorry, you gotta go. Who said you're not a guy? Okay. Anyway, sorry to have you guys go, but you guys can watch to the last of this if you want to. Yeah. Oh, that's a great one. I just told you this today, Moonleen. Peter said he used to be your target audience, that he'd love to talk to you offline. So there's where you go find out where he was hanging out, what he was thinking about. That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Peter. All right. So let's do the other
That's
side.
what I asked him earlier. Oh my God, Paula, after we talked or chatted.
Okay, cool. So you guys go ahead and do that. So I'm going to just give one more exercise here, and we can do this for every single one of you if you want to. Peter, you got to say something? Yeah, go ahead.
So, sorry, I hate to plug something that isn't mine and wasn't my idea, but I found this planner called the Rocket Book,
Nice.
and it is it's like dry erase paper.
Oh,
So like
damn, I want that.
yeah,
you
so
find
it has, yeah, it's all over Amazon. You can get 2 different sizes, different colors. It's like a dry erase pen with a
Oh,
little
hell, I
with an
love this.
eraser on the end, but it has like all these different pages inside. So 3 months worth at a time where you have to fill out the month, and then the same number of pages for that will cover a week at a time, and then 10 days worth of daily pages. And this forces you to go through like each week, or depending on the frequency, but each week you have to go fill out the pages and then start to fill out like what you're doing. And then each day there's spots for, well, what are your intentions? What are your goals? What are your tasks? What are you grateful for? Like little check boxes, like, did you meditate?
Love it.
You have any physical activity planned?
I'm
And
gonna
it's
go
just,
I'm gonna go get a link for that, and I'll send it out to everybody. Okay. Yeah.
and
I'll
it
go
comes
send
with
it out
an
to-
app that will scan all the pages so that
Serious?
after you erase them, then you still have to, you can still reference what you had done the week or the month or whatever
Damn,
before.
I love it. Okay, I'm gonna send everybody a link. I'll send it out, and then you guys can go look at it and order it and whatever. Love it. Rocket Planner. All right. So yeah, so let's just finish this exercise just really briefly with Moonleen, and so that she walks off of here knowing how to sell, and all of us have a good example. We went through 20, I don't know, I didn't count them, 15 pieces of what outcome people would get, right, as a result of having your intervention, right? If you remember the challenge, remember this was the 10K challenge. is that we have the sneetches, right? And they have this problem, right? They have this pain, and then they go to your process, which is the machine, and they come out, right, with this going on. So what we have to establish also is think about in selling, and the unfortunate truth is that people and animals, all beings, will flee from pain and get away from pain. They also like to go toward pleasure, like something like a heavy pleasure, like sex is, one that they would go toward, but they
Right.
will flee from pain before that. So the first thing to sort of, if they don't know you or something like that, you always want to be, know, like, trust, then they're going to buy from you. Know, like, trust, right? So that's why you're doing your personal branding and giving little pieces of information, is then you don't have to put so much trouble into what you do. People know you already, right? But so also pieces of information can be about pain points. So you want to think about what is it they want to get away from, right? So let's everybody quickly, like, just spend 2 minutes and chat into somebody that's in anxiety. What do you want to get away from? If you've ever experienced anxiety, which probably all of us have, what is it that's a pain point for that anxiety? What would you want to go try to find somebody to get rid of? For me, it would be panic attacks, night sweats. When I used to be in super anxiety, weight gain because I was eating to try to, low energy, depression, poor sleep, absolutely poor sleep. So many people, are running from that, running to whatever they can get, low motivation, low sex drive. That is a huge one, right? Anything else? What else would you be running from if you've ever experienced anxiety?
I do want to say one thing, which is I actually do work a lot with men on their sex drive.
Of course, yeah, especially with
Yeah.
young men. Because depression and anxiety is one, you're going to see that in your system because that's one of the first, like, it's an extremity that has to be able to work, right? And
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
if you're depressed and things aren't in wholeness, that's one of the first things that gets noticed. And so, crappy job, bad relationships, low sex drive, all of that stuff is stuff that you can put out little pieces of information about. Do you know that your anxiety really can affect your sexual performance? And this is why physiologically, and it's okay, and there's some things you can do. Here's one thing you could do. You don't have to say call me, you just tell something they could do, right? And then people are like, damn, that dude Monleen, she gives good information, and I want to have sex with my girlfriend, so I'm gonna listen to that again. So those kind of things. So so you
know what, Paula? I'm glad that you brought that up because I'm having a really hard time. I want to do the crumbs daily, but I have a hard time knowing what's a crumb, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's a little like any of these that you're addressing and that you can give a little point, 1 point about or 2 points about. You could either examine what it is so people understand it, like how do you know if you're anxious? Well, you're sweating, you're not sleeping well, those kind of things. And then that's it, or are you binge watching, like gaming and binge watching? Absolutely pieces of anxiety for guys. Well, maybe girls, women too, but it's really seen in teenagers. I know I have one.
Right.
So the gaming and the binge watching and getting away and withdrawal, all of that stuff, along with poor sleep, drug use, alcohol use. Are you drinking too much? It could be because you're so anxious. You're trying to self-medicate. That's a crumb right there,
Okay.
And so and then you say, my name's Monleen, and you don't have to say, this is how you get a hold of me. Maybe the 10th one you do, if you want more information, this is how you get me. I'm glad to give you a free session, whatever you say, but start doing this.
Okay.
Ron?
Paula, I have a question. So I just created a Facebook page. I didn't realize I didn't have one. Now, how crucial is it to have it perfected? Is it more? Okay.
Not.
Got it.
Okay. How effing long have you been following me?
I know.
Do I do anything perfectly? Not.
No.
You just go with it, right? You tell people, you be authentic, you say half of the emails went out and the other half didn't because we're in the middle of transitioning because we grew too big. No. If you stop until you're perfect, you won't ever do anything because there's no
You're right.
perfect.
You're right.
Yeah. Not perfect action. There you go. Right. Right. That is exactly right. Inspired action, not perfect action. Absolutely right. Go back and watch my video about being a high performer versus, might be not, an overachiever versus a high performer.
Okay.
Overachievers have their lists and want it to be perfect and and really don't ever get anywhere except driving themselves nuts. Whereas high performers have what they want and those kind of things because they don't do things perfectly. They sit in their why and not in the how. The how is, this is the how, is getting into being perfect is howie. And that'll take you down a bad road.
Okay.
May I ask?
Oh, sorry. Go on, Janine.
Oh, I thought you were done. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go on, Janine.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Janine.
If I want to post a first video on my page, what do you suggest should it be an intro video about me or should it just be content? Okay. I recorded one last week and I tried 79 times to record something. And then I listened to the last one. I'm like, it's so freaking boring. I don't even want to post this. I didn't post it, but I did actually record one.
Okay. So here's a little way that you can do this. Have you ever, I used to, this is how it's resolved. Those three things. Okay. So you'll see me, hey, I'm thinking about something. What about this and this and this and this? I used to do this until I blah, 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 blah. And this is what you do. Have you ever, I used to, and this is how I resolved it, or this is how you resolve it. Okay. So that's that'll grab people's attention. It's quick. Yep. Have you ever, I used to, this is how I resolved it.
Like, oh my God, this video is so freaking boring. I can't post this, and it's a good thing.
Some of mine are awful too. My son was, my coach gave me an assignment to make 20 videos last weekend for TikTok. I did not do it. I'm sorry. That just wasn't me, right? I made 5. But one of them, my son's looking at it and he's like, we're not posting this. This is horrible.
Are you singing and dancing in your videos?
Huh?
Are you singing and dancing in your videos?
No. I did the chicken dance
That's
in the
all
one.
TikTok.
I did the chicken dance in the one he won't post. Exactly, Peter. Exactly. It's a duck call. And we don't want to, and maybe some of us want Daffy Ducks, but there's wood ducks, there's, mallard ducks and all of those. And your duck call gives a sound, right? So my way of relating, my voice, my tenor, my excitement, and, all of that attracts somebody, but then another person in the way they present things is going to be the other duck call. So you're putting out your duck call for the ducks that you want to follow you. Yeah. Not everybody will respond to it. And you don't want the Daffy Ducks, so let them go. All right. Anybody else? Ron, we didn't hear from you tonight.
Well, you did, but
Yes, I did. You're right. You're right about the email.
I'm just being snarky because I can be. I was trying to think. I'm all over the place tonight as usual, but I just feel like I'm waking up at night, not sleeping, which is just awful. We know how that goes. And I've been awake since 2 this morning, and some dragging. That's part of my problem. But and that seems to be happening a lot because I'm thinking about lots of different things. And as you already know, I have lots of ideas and thoughts, and I feel like I am the analysis paralysis king. And I did see your video that you did recently, and unfortunately, I identify with the one that I don't want to be. And so I'm working to move to the other side. And I think that's kind of the, you know, the angle.
Yeah. Yeah. So, do you have a sense of what it is you need? Because, we're all born into wholeness and we really do know what we need. If we'll just be quiet with it a minute, do you have a sense of what you need to calm the mind right now?
I think I need to focus, and I'm having trouble focusing, but I'm not sure if that's really the answer that you're.
No,
I'm not.
I'm asking you what's coming to you.
Well,
So
yeah,
that's probably right.
definitely focus, because there's a lot of noise, and we talked about that last week, and I've definitely been working on reducing the noise, but I definitely have more work to do, and it's a work in progress.
Mhm.
But it's because I'm genuinely interested in so much stuff, but it's not possible to do all of the things I'm interested in. I mean, over time, yes, but I find like I want to start working over this, and then it's like, well, let me do this, and then you get nothing done, and you need to pick one and focus on it, and then move on.
Well, that might be why, that might be something else that, Becky was kind of talking about this too. This might be something else for you to do, a little bit on your personal branding, is just kind of talking about some different things, like, I'm a guy that's interested in so many things. I'm interested in so many things that even keeps me up at night. Here's the 45 things, and you could list them. Other people will identify with that. And then as you do this, even if you don't go live, maybe just pretending you're doing it and just make your own video and you don't even have to post it. But there will be themes that start coming to you of what you like to focus on. And you don't have to focus on it forever, but there will be things that you like better than others that you start to look and see that you want to focus on, and it will help you focus. Kind of like, it's kind of like, trusting yourself in a stream of consciousness to start talking about, to believe that what is really important to you in that stream of consciousness will start coming out. If you had me start talking in the stream of consciousness, what would start coming out would be law of attraction stuff and the universe and the energy and the abundance. That is like all stuff that would be what came, like my core stuff, right? So you could either do that in a journal and just do like a soul dump, like, this is all I'm interested in, and all of it. And then can start seeing what the themes are. And then you don't have to stay up at night trying to figure that out. You've dumped it into the journal or you've dumped it into the video.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen is as you sleep less, it's going to get worse, right? You get more distractible. You can't focus as much. So getting you restored to letting the wheel stop turning at night is going to be really important.
Absolutely. Because that is what's happening.
Yeah. Anybody else have any suggestions for what you do when your wheels start turning at night and you would like them to turn off? I focus on one sound. I'll put on a singing bowls meditation, and I'll focus on the sound of like the crickets in the singing bowls or the bowls, and just focus on the sound. And even if I have never, even if I, derail and find myself back on the wheel of running around, I say, oh, okay, let me get back to let me just focus on that sound. There's that sound, just that sound. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
For me,
That's
surf
actually
is
a great idea.
magical. So I play a recording of surf on the beach. And if I wake up at night, I will lean over and I will turn that back on. It plays for an hour. I have a journal with a lighted pen. So you click the pen a certain number of times, it turns a light on so you can write whatever it is. So get it all out of your head. I've also had really good experience with a product called HoloSync. It's a meditation with binaural beats, and you listen to it, and basically it puts me right out.
Holo. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
And
put all these links for this stuff to people.
Yeah, I'll text you so you
Okay.
get the spelling right and you're not trying to figure out what the heck
Yeah.
I'm saying.
I'll text people links to all this stuff. Yeah.
That's good to know you've had good luck with. I've actually heard of that, and I wondered about if it was legit. So I'm glad to hear that it is.
Yeah, and other professional coaches, have you heard of Sonia Riccati?
Mm-mm.
Happy for No Reason, Unsinkable. Yeah, that's Marcy Shinoff. Unsinkable. She uses their technology in her programs with her meditations. So
Okay.
it's pretty legit.
Okay.
All right. HoloSync. Yeah, and whatever you can do to kind of clear your mind. I do the nighttime dump too. Sometimes I'm too lazy to write it. So I just sit in my shit. But I do the nighttime journal dump too when I can't sleep, and that does help.
Maybe you can record them on your phone.
Yeah, there you go. Talk it into your phone so it's all you can listen to it later. That's a good
Yeah.
one. That's a really
If you like writing, then at least you're just, bleh, it's like a purge. And then after that, your head.
Yeah, that's a good one. We'll all hold you in good energy tonight, Ron. And I would encourage you, if you have opportunities like right now and you're tired, just go ahead and go to bed, right? So you get some rest. Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for jumping in.
Good luck, Ron.
All right, everybody. We've been on together for an hour and a half, and tomorrow I will do this one. I was just going to do it a couple of times, but we've gone, into some. We're gonna go into this program that's going to take us a little bit more step by step. But I wanted to give you the down and dirty stuff. So if you really want to go out there and get money, go use this. Sell, find your team, invest a little bit of money, and for 2 months, you should be fine in 2 months' time. I've used it over and over and over again with people that are just like, I gotta have some money. You're all wonderful, Paula, and all your, woo-woo stuff, but I gotta have some money. So then we pull out the survival kit, and that's the survival kit. So if you're in that space, and even if you're not, and you want to just try it out, go ahead. But in the meantime, too, we, working on your personal brand, which is also part of your selling. So, all right. And then we'll plan on next week doing a coaching session, and then there'll probably be a week break in between, and then we'll start the, the program. This is our fast track. Okay. Thank you all so very much for being here tonight, for, hanging in there with me.
You're
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. And I will make sure that you all have the slides, and you certainly will have the recording as well, although the slides will be in the recording as well, but we'll send the slides separately. All right. And then we'll send all those links that Peter's, I want to get that, that journal. That's amazing.
Right.
Whoever thought that one up deserves our money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, I have one quick question, which is, if you had to give us a quick tip about personal branding and selling, what would it be?
A quick tip?
Yeah. Like, for example, I'm really trying, I literally have always been like, oh yeah, I am my brand, but never in this truly sophisticated way. And I want to, but I don't know how to use it to sell.
Yeah. So blending the two, a quick tip for that.
Yeah.
Okay. If you like videos are the most right now, the most useful. All right. So go make videos, and I didn't tell you guys this, but you can try to figure out your audience. That's the best audience. I'll talk a little bit more about this. Don't do this. Just right now, do videos. Do videos. Do videos. If you can do them every day, do 10. videos, and then do 9 talking about something. On the 10th one, make an offer.
Okay. Okay.
The next thing I would say, if you only want to do it online, but if you want to go offline and try to sell, make a list of everybody you know, every guy, every person, every med student, and go to them and have a conversation about, you know, this is what I'm doing. Do you have any interest?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Paula,
Yes,
is it 9 posts or 9 videos?
it could be either.
Okay.
It can be either.
Thanks, Janine.
9 pieces of information.
Okay.
Could be 1 email, 2 calling birds, 3 French. It could be 5 golden offers. It could be, you know, 8 videos, 2 posts, 1 email, then make your offer in an email, whatever you want to do, right? But it needs to be to that same audience. And the problem with an email is it's not always going to your same audience as your Facebook unless you're asking people to give you your email. So probably should happen wherever you're making those posts and everything like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
There's many times that I send you guys an email or I do a post, and I've done the same thing in both places and nobody sees any of it.
I see it.
You see it. You guys are good.
Because you're a
I
good
was,
student.
you
Janine.
beat me to it. You beat me to it. I was gonna say, I see it.
I think the crowd that's here sees it.
I'm like, wait, I saw that over here and here and here.
There she is at it again. Morning and night.
Sending the same email 5 times.
5
Just
times.
kidding.
I got them in a folder.
Ron's printed them out and compared them.
Yes.
They call that OCD.
No. I call it learner, a very, very special learner. Learn from everything. you
Special.
can.
Special.
You're special. All right, guys. Love you much. You have a
Paula.
good evening. I've got another call to be on in 30 minutes. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Thank you. Hi ho. Thank
Hi
you.
ho.